He had always clung to certainty. Every decision, every thought, every step in life was carefully calculated, weighed, and mapped. He feared change above all else. To him, change meant chaos, loss, failure, a storm he could not control. And yet, despite his meticulous planning, life kept shifting around him, refusing to be tamed. Friends moved away, careers faltered, relationships ended, and every new challenge felt like a gust of wind threatening to topple his carefully built world. One autumn morning, exhausted by yet another disappointment, he set out for the hills on the edge of the village. He had heard of a monk who lived deep in the forest, a recluse who guided those lost in fear, doubt, and rigidity. Some said the monk had a way of showing people the hidden patterns of life, revealing truths that were invisible to the hurried mind. Desperate for clarity, the young man followed the winding path into the forest. The path was carpeted with fallen leaves, gold, amber, and crimson, swirling in the wind. Each step made a soft crunch, echoing like a gentle reminder of the impermanence surrounding him. The deeper he walked, the more he realized that the forest itself seemed alive, whispering secrets he could almost but not quite hear. At the heart of the forest he found the monk, sitting beside a stream, calmly picking up fallen leaves and studying them intently. The man hesitated before approaching. I am lost," he said finally, voice trembling. "Everything I try to control slips through my fingers. I do not know how to live when nothing is certain." The monk looked up, serene. "Sit," he said, patting the ground beside him. "Tell me what you fear most." The young man thought for a long moment. "Change," he admitted. "I fear the unknown. I fear losing what I have worked for. I fear what I cannot control." The monk nodded slowly and held a leaf in his hand. This leaf was once part of a great tree, strong, vital, reaching toward the sun, yet it fell, carried by wind, separated from the tree it called home. Does it lament its fate? Does it fight the wind? No. It dances, it falls, it eventually nourishes the earth, and in its own way it fulfills its purpose. The young man frowned. "But I do not want to fall, to be carried by forces I cannot command." The monk smiled gently. "And yet the world moves regardless of your wishes. The path of life is like these fallen leaves. Resistance creates suffering. Acceptance, observation, and flow create understanding, wisdom, and freedom. Come, walk with me." They wandered along the forest path together, the monk pointing out leaves swirling in the wind, roots twisting into the soil, streams carving paths through stones. Each movement was a lesson. "Look at how the leaf surrenders yet moves with grace," the monk said. "Notice how the water flows around the stones, never stopping, never forcing, yet persistent. This is life. To resist is to suffer. To move with awareness is to live fully." The young man struggled to absorb the lesson. He wanted certainty, control, the comfort of knowing exactly where every step would lead. But the more he observed, the more he noticed patterns he had missed before. The leaves that danced beautifully even when torn from the tree, the way the stream overcame obstacles quietly yet inevitably. The small creatures adapting without fear. Days turned into weeks. Each morning, the monk took him further into the forest, showing him how to walk the path without fear, how to respond to change with curiosity instead of panic, how to embrace impermanence as a teacher rather than an enemy. Slowly, the young man began to feel a shift inside. The fear that had always gripped him loosened its hold. He realized that life's uncertainties were not punishments, but invitations, opportunities to grow, to observe, to engage fully. One evening, the monk handed him a leaf glowing in the golden sunset. "Hold this," he said. "Walk your path today. See how it moves, how it responds to your touch, and how your perception shapes what it reveals. The young man took the leaf carefully. As he walked, he noticed that his own steps were lighter, his breathing calmer. The wind caught the leaf, and instead of resisting, he let it move freely in his hands. In that surrender, he felt a strange freedom, a release from the constant struggle that had consumed him for so long. The monk spoke quietly. Life will always change, always move, always challenge you. But if you walk with awareness, if you observe, reflect, and adapt, the path itself will become your guide. The leaves, the wind, the stones, the streams, they are teachers. And you, when you surrender to life without losing your essence, become a master of your own journey. And here, I want you, watching this story, to reflect. What is your path of fallen leaves? What are you resisting, clinging to, or fearing? What would happen if you allowed the wind to guide you instead of fighting it? Pause and consider one small step you can take today to move with life rather than against it. The young man returned to the village transformed. He no longer demanded rigid certainty. He faced change with curiosity and courage, responding with grace rather than panic. Opportunities he had once missed now became doors he could enter. Challenges became teachers rather than enemies. And the memory of the monk, the forest, and the swirling leaves remained in his heart as a guide for all the seasons of life. If this story inspired you, subscribe to this channel and comment below one change you will allow in your life today. One leaf you will let fall and flow instead of clinging to. Your courage to move with life might inspire someone else to find their own freedom. Life, like the path of fallen leaves, will always shift. The storms will come, the winds will blow, and yet those who learn to move with grace, awareness, and presence discover that the journey itself is the teacher and the path itself leads to wisdom, peace, and freedom.